42nd pick in the 2014 draft, and they immediately start with a backdoor pass to Johnson. Nope.
Right off the bat.
Well, I'd say he's an athlete.
He's an athlete, and you want to get your athletes involved right away.
Well, I've always felt like they were with all the stars that. Nick Johnson.
A terrific pass. Perfect pass there. Of course, it helps when you have a little bit more margin for error, when you have the type of athleticism.
He looks a little unconfident. Is that just me, or are you seeing the same thing?
Well, he's going to learn that as he plays a little bit more in this league.
Nick Johnson, the floater. Oh, yes. What a game by Nick Johnson. He's got 20 points on 8 of 12.
When you discuss and you talk about trading a player, if you don't trade him when he comes into your locker room, how do you coach?
Tarek Black comes back, gets another possession for Houston. Nick Johnson will take the J and make it.
There you go.
Very high on Nick Johnson.
And he should be. Johnson's an excellent player.
Stroke it.
He's the real deal. Knows how to play the game.
Chris Kramer scoops it up in the open floor, and there's Johnson for 3, and on cue, Nick Johnson knocks it down.
I was surprised he wasn't drafted. Is he going to Vegas with your Sixers as Nick Johnson hits it, or Mirabilan out to Chris Crawford, 4 on the shot clock, and Nick Johnson hoists and hits.
Struggle at times with getting stops. Football movement.
Johnson's got another 3 from the corner.
Down the stretch in a close game, that's a guy that they want to play through and they want to see lead the team. So foul trouble, not something that they would like to see.
Cannon and Matajunas in that pick and roll. And here's Nick Johnson, a step back 3. Bullseye right in Gray's face.
Matajunas definitely had reacting and loving that. And then Matajunas with a beautiful skip pass to Nick Johnson for the 3. But I think Will Cherry.
Competitor, and he always had kind and wise words to say to you.
Nick Johnson.
Right on cue, Nick. I make it a free throw shooting contest. I'm not necessarily looking for the 3-point shot. But if it's open, I take it. We're tied a game. So this is a bad foul here. And again, this is what the coaches look for.
3 boards, 4 dimes. Chris Kramer back in for Houston. Over to Nick Johnson, wide open 3, and it's a splasher.
And now 3.
Set up by Josh Maggette, who's getting his first summer league time.
5 to shoot for Nick Johnson. Has to hurry. The fadeaway is good, and 1 for Nick Johnson.
As creating this shot. This is what athleticism does for you. And what? Summer Pro-Am.
If you like to go small and you have an oft-injured point guard, you might consider it, but
Mr. James coming to town is definitely going to make that an easy transition.
Johnson with the floater, and it's a 16-0 run for the Houston Rockets.
Damn, they're trying to get him shots. The Doggers can shoot the ball.
Yeah, 10 points off the bench last night. Came out firing here.
And the glass. Nick Johnson loves the push-off, I'm telling you. And right now, running and scoring, and Andrew Wiggins was trailing from behind.
Just about the addition of Thabo Cephalosha, he says it's outstanding for this team, mainly because of the playoff credibility that he brings. Thabo has played, he added to that by saying, you know, I also think Ken Bazemore is the most underrated move.
Rim. Johnson got ahead. Pass was a little late, but Johnson will connect.
Here comes Isaiah Cannon. Nice find for Nick Johnson in the lay-in.
Really good at running the floor, finishing around the basket.
And many others having fun out here in Vegas. Here's Nick Johnson improving his box score. He's now got 8 points.
Jaw. Couldn't talk in practice.
Johnson at it again. Poor decision.
That's cold. That's cold. That's cold. It's true.
But I'm not a guy who's ready to sell stock on him as of yet. And you're talking about David Blatt being able to come in.
Expecting for him to make the most impact, and there's no doubt that we saw plenty of examples of that in the Summer League where he could do what it is that he was brought there for. And that is mentioned about Daryl being the numbers man.
Nick Johnson over Lucas Nogueira.
Why not, as the Houston Rockets continue to pour it on against the Toronto Raptors, up by 11.
That's Prather with the jumper. Here's Johnson to the rim. Aggressive move by Nick Johnson. Good body control.
Starting to see what
post up as you take a look at Nick Johnson, wasting no time here.
Good body control.
Nick Johnson. Oh, he threw it down with the left hand. Oh, are you kidding me? Don't do it to him on day one, Nick Johnson.
All these guys, you know, he's going left off of Siva, and he takes off as if to say, don't you know me? Did you forget? I was the Pac-10 Player of the Year.
For Hoosier, if that team should have done a little bit more a couple of years ago, as Nick Johnson ignites us here in Orlando.
If you're a coach,
Here's Johnson, the reverse against Noel.
you use the rim to keep Noel away from the block because you
In this first half.
Well, this is what Houston sees in Nick Johnson, getting to the basket and using a reverse layup to keep Noel away.
The Rockets on top by 1. Rookie Johnson in the paint and the finish. Seems to get where he wants to go.
He does, but
Nick Johnson has shown the Rockets and these fans here in Vegas a little of everything tonight. And his team leads it by 3.
GA's back in the ball game now, starting to put his imprint back on the game.
Oh, Johnson.
Speaking of imprint on the game.
Wow.
Tonight.
And Johnson comes right back, and then look at the ability to hang with that offense.
For the Memphis Grizzlies, winning at least 2 of them, and Houston in good shape to win this second quarter as Nick Johnson finger rolls at home.
Sure. Again, I think the Hornets are really fortunate with that signing.
Well, that was one of the questions of the offseason as Nick Johnson gets the and one opportunity. One of the questions of the
Johnson was left alone. It seemed to surprise him as he missed that shot. Nick Johnson now spinning on Liggins, fading and hitting. How nice is this kid?
The fade and the step back, you know, Nick, they have a real player, a real find. And I don't think what we're watching is, you know, a one-time thing.
Daryl Morey, as we've mentioned, has high hopes for this guy. And you think about the 2-guard position for Houston.
way through the second quarter. There's Montiunas. Connecting again with Johnson.
Back-to-back play, the 5-man to the 1-man.
Black with some good defense there. Nick Johnson, he's going to try his hand on Noel and score. A foul on Cooley. Nick Johnson, a low touch, and scores hook style like a big man.
Rick, I'm waiting for the coin flip.
Nick Johnson squirting through. Wow. Nice move to elude Stokes to draw the foul on Tarek Black. And Nick Johnson finding room.
Shades of it. Whether the vets are going to play in these games.
A lot of times these teams have outlined before they ever arrive in Las Vegas how many games they want. 3 years as a pro, Mickey McConnell in Italy and in the D-League. Johnson.
Ooh, I like that.
Strong drive past Hairston for the bucket.
So strong with that move.
There's some familiarity between Josh Davis and Nick Johnson. Johnson able to take that contact and finish. As they played against each other last.
Threw it away. Nice steal by Jahi Carson. He floats and misses. Oh, what a follow by Nick Johnson. Are you kidding me?
Getting rebounds, pushing the basketball, but I love when you can follow up. Look at that athleticism. Had his hand up on the board.
Driving and kicking the extra pass to Marty Lunin, looking for number 6. Look at Nick Johnson. Oh, come on. He's putting on a show here in Orlando.
Montiunas on the post.
Heavy dose of Montiunas.
Oh,
there's Nick Johnson.
By Nick Johnson.
I was hoping to see what I've been hearing about.
20th turnover by Houston as you take a look at Nick Johnson. Unchecked by Atlanta.
Here we go.
Time.
Yeah. And Nick Johnson made a very strong move to the paint and finish.
That one fell for Marty Lunin. I know it. Connect down low. Nick Johnson on the run for Houston. Isaiah Cannon triggers. He'll not.
Diversity, so he's gonna once he gets comfortable and confident, he can flat out shoot the basketball.
Reminds me of, and it's crazy, but it reminds me of Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
It really does.
I can see a little.
And it's always this.
He looks like he's checking into the game.
Good ball movement here by the Rockets. Lunin. He fades and hits a 3, and he ties it at 86. What a shot. And with just over 3 to go in the first quarter. Nick Johnson tried to sell a foul on Kraft. Refs weren't buying it. Brown again, and a heat check floater drops. Here's Nick Johnson. Carson.
Nice move.
Oh, nice flick. Marty Lunin hands off to Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson and Chris Crawford are tied for this team lead in scoring. Kramer doesn't look for his shot. He's kind of a glue guy. And the three ball by Jabari Brown. That one had to feel good. Nick Johnson, some fancy dribbling, couldn't elude Cooley, and it's Jabari Brown for an and one.
Great pass by Johnson. Dribble penetration, and I tell you, being a big point guard like he is, he can make those passes to Brown.
5 on the shot clock, now down to 4. Nick Johnson still with it. The skip to Lunin. Oh, he drilled it right in Cooley's face.
As far as rebounding, which is really nice, and he can get taught the rest of that stuff.
Marty Lunin. Oh, what a soft touch. He's now got 5 threes in the game.
Took a while for Houston yesterday to find their offense. Let's see if they can build off the momentum of their second half where they outscored Toronto 60.
Down Bennett. The double comes from Cherry. Johnson to Cannon. Cooley closing on him, but it doesn't matter.
Another assist for Nick.
There's Johnson, really athletic, couldn't finish the reverse, got it back. Nobody chased down that rebound. And Luke Hancock will try the three. And the former, but it's in keeping with the philosophy of the man you just saw, Steve Clifford, who really gave the Hornets a defiant.
Right by Harrison, really not a good shot there. You can get a better opportunity for your team.
Montiunas, a little shake, and the right-hander goes.
Wiggins.
Anthony Bennett just picked up his 3rd foul. Nick Johnson to Montiunas.
Beautiful execution on the side, picking up Bennett and Curry. But watch how quick Montiunas is able to get to the basket, and you want to stay
off the side. That was his worst shot of the game. Nick Johnson underneath to Marshall, and here come the Rockets. Quarter, and Nick Johnson dropping dimes here in Orlando. Marshall says thank you.
And you're able to step back and create a lot more space for that jump shot. Looks smooth as Montiunas responds with the baseline jumper.
Everybody touches the basketball. They want everybody to be versatile and interchangeable and be able to make passes and plays like that.
Great pass by Nick Johnson and 2:30 out of Virginia.
So we see Nick coming off a down screen and catches the basketball and puts it up with touch.
To be here in the States.
It does not have to be here in the States, and as you said, you can feed your family and have a great life. And, you know, playing overseas is great. It's a great.
Oh, nice pass to Dion Thompson. Blocked from behind by Nick Johnson.
Wow. I tell you, he can do it all right there. You figure on the defensive end with the block. That is so nice. And then saves the ball. Then gets down court. He can get it going.
Crawford brings the Rockets within 6. Nice knockaway by Nick Johnson. Wiggins now head his pocket picked by Nick Johnson, and he is fouled by Anthony Bennett.
In that backcourt.
Some defense from Brooks.
He's had a steal tonight. He had some really good plays yesterday defensively. Strong Bahamian here.
Relaford tried to split the double team and lost it. Nick Stauskas was not expecting that pass. Screen from Vonleh, slips it, lost it.
Great job there by Nick Johnson. Though just read that like a defensive back and able to get out in transition there for the finish.
Gave it up to Oriaki. He was stripped. Nick Johnson. And Nick Johnson will take it all the way.